So, the coffee research and development playlist was never supposed to be about just buying and tasting different flavors of coffee, which is unfortunately kind of sort of what it's become. But I'm planning to get things back on track, and we're going to start out of order because that's just how we do things here with coffee grinding. Now, I already know that how you prepare a coffee is incredibly important. But what I don't quite know is the science behind why certain details of your coffee beans and the grounds make such a profound difference on the taste of the drink. And today, that's what we're going to research and look into. So, I have this coffee grinder, and it looked on the surface like I would be able to set how fine or how coarse I wanted the grounds to come out. But I don't know why that matters. So I think that's a good place to start. Let's look into that. Let's pull up the internet. Fine or coarse. So the best grind size for coffee depends on your brewing method. This is according to AI. I know, AI hatred, but let's just hear it out for a second, okay? Fine grounds are ideal for espresso and other methods with short brew times because they extract quickly, while coarse grounds are better for longer brew times like French press or cold brew as they prevent over extraction. That's interesting. Immersion brewing like a French press or percolator. I see. Filter drip is for medium grind. Bind is for mocha pod, aka stovetop espresso. Manual lever or semi-auto espresso machine with motorized pump. And see, I kind of sort of figured that. A lot of the shorts I see about people making espressos usually try to get like a fine coffee grind. Okay, but let's look up what over extraction is. What is over extracted coffee? Over extracted coffee results when water extracts too many compounds from the grounds during brewing, leading to a bitter, harsh, and unpleasant taste. Okay. So if you have fine grounds in a system that would normally use coarser grounds, you will end up with a more bitter taste. All right. Interesting. So, we aren't just going to do this. Obviously, this is information that is very, very good to know. But today's a very special day because I've broken open some sealed coffee beans that I've had for quite some time. Now, it's actually been so long that I'm a little bit concerned that the beans might not be any good anymore, because this is coffee that I've had since 2019. So one of the other things that I want to look up really quickly is what exactly happens if you use old beans. What happens if you use old coffee? Using old coffee beans, while not harmful, will result in less flavorful and potentially stale tasting cup of coffee. The aromatic compounds and oils in coffee beans degrade over time, leading to a duller, flatter flavor rather than a vibrant, rich one. I wonder if this is going to really matter, because the coffee beans themselves have been in a very, very well vacuum sealed package. Like, when I opened up this bag of coffee beans, I kid you not, like, you could hear it. It was like a can of soda. It was like a You could hear the air, like, release. But if the worst that we get is a stale tasting coffee, I think I can deal with that. Let's see. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it shouldn't really matter all that much. I mean, there are military MREs that have coffee in it for years and years and years and years, and it's still drinkable. Not to mention, store-bought coffee, when it's like pre-ground, they don't tell you when it was ground or how long it's been on the shelf. And that I know of, there's no expiration date on it. And it's also vacuum sealed too. That's something that I'll look into, actually. But at least I know that I'm not potentially doing anything dangerous to myself or my health or anything, which is very important. If you're watching this video, please make sure that you're being careful. Be responsible, even though it's not alcoholic or anything like that. It's still caffeine, which is technically a drug. It can have adverse effects to your body and stuff like that. So just please be responsible. When I do this, I make sure that I only drink a cup of coffee every day. At most. I'm not sitting here drinking pot after pot, cup after cup. I'm not pumping my body filled with boatloads of coffee all day. I'm not doing it, no. But with that out of the way, let's get to grinding our coffee beans. I probably won't do the taste test today. I just want to see what the process is for grinding the beans and what it looks like and smells like when that process is done. So, give me just a second. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Again, part of the research and development series is to explore all of the different processes involved with making a good cup of coffee. Now, that of course means that we need to do everything at some point or another, even if we don't necessarily do it in order. And we have done a lot when it comes to that. One of the things that I still haven't really done yet is grind my own coffee. Today is the day that we fix that. I can get this plugged in. So, I have here a grinder, coffee grinder. Now, I would like everybody to know that I'm under no pretense that this is actually going to work out in any significant capacity. And I know that it's a little bit hard to see the full thing. That's what we're working with here. Let's see if I can angle this just a little bit better without having crap in the way. If this looks bad, it's because this was never part of like the process, I don't know how to get a good view of this. But this is what the full grinder looks like. It's very cheap. I have some other stuff by this company, but I believe my grandmother got them before she passed away. So I don't know where she got so much of this stuff from. It ranges from spray bottles to a bunch of other things. Like I said, it's a sloppy setup because I'm still unable to get the technology that I need to make the setup look nice. We're gonna need a bunch more support from you guys in order to buy the equipment that I need to make this less jank. But a lot of VTubers, when they do stuff like this, it starts off jank. I am no exception, unfortunately. Anyway, we're grinding coffee. I have had this particular stash of coffee beans for a very long time. It is the Melbourne store, roasted in Melbourne, and they're expired. To put things simply, they're expired. I have absolutely no idea grind them, but the bag has been tightly secured and vacuum sealed for a long time. Still smell good. They smell a little stale. The reason that I'm using these expired coffee beans is because I hear nothing but good things about this Melbourne store brand coffee. My sister got them for me years ago, and I'm like, if these somehow magically end up tasting good, somehow, then that would make them the absolute best. That would make them the best coffee ever. And if they taste bad, then I can just blame it on the fact that they're expired beans. I don't know what the repercussions are, like what's old beans going to do to the flavor of the coffee, but we are going to find that out together. So there you have it. The beans are inside of the machine. I don't know what these indicators mean as far as like the settings. So we'll just hit the it's grinding it pretty fine. So let's examine what we've got so far here. All right, we've got some coffee grounds. They actually don't look too bad. It doesn't smell too bad either, which is impressive. So, again, to put it into perspective, if you see there, move the camera over a little bit, 2019, it is 2025. So, if we're talking logically, there's no reason that these beans should taste good whatsoever. Let me find some more. And actually, you know what? Let me turn this up to 20 seconds because I have a lot of beans in there that I want to just grind them all. Now, I still have some more beans inside of the bag, but we're going to do a couple of different things with this coffee as we do. So of course, we're going to do our coffee the normal way, hot. We're going to do our espresso shot, and then we're also going to do the iced coffee. All of this with 2019 Melbourne aged coffee beans. So, please excuse the shaky camera. Our beans are almost emptied. One more time. Turned it off because I could hear that it's no longer grinding anything. So let's take one more look at our final product. We got a lot of coffee grounds. I will prepare a container to keep these grounds in. It's ground pretty fine, which I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea for this particular blend. Let me check the bag really quickly. Store an airtight container are suitable to be used in the following equipment: espresso machine, plunger, filter, and machinetta. So There's no information on what type of beans these are, what their flavor is. It's probably a medium roast, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, I know the setup was super scuffed. And don't you dare judge me for my Scooby-Doo cup. I don't have the equipment to do this the way that I'd actually like to do it, so I have to make the best with what I have. The smell of the coffee beans isn't particularly bad or anything. It's got a very earthy smell. Um, it's almost something like soil. Like that's the type of smell you want your soil to have whenever you're planting something. Which I would imagine probably is the staleness of the coffee beans coming through. Which, to be honest, I don't really hate it. I know it's kind of weird because you don't normally want your food or drink to be associated with dirt, but this is actually somewhat pleasant. Because I use RTX voice to cut out background noise, you actually didn't hear the grinder as it was going, so it made it seem as though this particular grinder was silent. It was not. It was very, very loud. That's something that I'll probably try and keep in mind next time, is just to turn RTX voice off so you guys can hear what the grinder sounds like. But that's my bad. It's not the sort of thing that I can just re-record, unfortunately, but you'll live. If I had to guess, I don't think that the age of the coffee beans or the grounds is going to play as big a role as the internet makes it out to be. But let me know down in the comments below. Do you have any old coffee that you're thinking about using? Or something that maybe you don't want to throw away because you got it from someone special or from somewhere special? After I do my experiments, you might be more inclined to give it a try. What I intend to do is, since we're not testing it today, I will, over the next couple of days, try it in the 3 different ways that I normally do, and I will compile those attempts into a single video. But again, I want to hear your thoughts down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in another video.